Hey everybody, Boris, Forex. Welcome to the technicals for the crosses for November 12th to November 16, 2018. And there really wasn't very clear, evident trades on the crosses this week. So I'm going to show you a couple of interesting punts. And it's really a trade on cable in many ways. But I find it very interesting as far as it's setting up because it looks one way, but I think the trade could go very much the other way. Let me explain to you what I mean. The two crosses that are setting up, I think, on a contra or a mean reversion basis is both pound odd and pound kiwi, both of which just have been in a massive downtrend. Obviously, cable selling off and the Aussie and Kiwi really finding some bids, but now we're coming to some very key support levels. And if you make the bet that something positive happens out of Brexit this week, the possibility for a pop on both of these trades is really significant. So that's why I find it so interesting. It's obviously a very speculative bet on some positive development on the Brexit front, but combined with the long-term support levels that these pairs are approaching, it just creates a perfect combination for a big short covering move. The other trade that I think is interesting, also a major calm dollar trade, is the Euro-CAD trade, in a sense that that's compressing quite interestingly. I'll show you this on the charts, to the downside. And here, this is again the trade of will the loonie find a bid this week? If loonie finds a bid, I think Euro's probably going to be stationary for at least a couple of days. And it's hard to imagine Euro really finding a bid hard. It creates this potential for a fall off and a drop through a triangle formation. Let's just take a look at the charts here, and I'll show you what I mean. We can start actually with Euro-CAD. So here you have Euro-CAD literally just boom, nothing but a series of lower highs, compressing all the way down towards the 500 SMA here, a very narrow volatility band here, but, and this is the key thing here, if we can break the 49 right over here, that gives way to at least a test of the 48s. And I think, basically the resist here is 50-50, a move to the downside here. This is really basically a move of caddy catching a bid or Euro taking out that 113 level. If we take out the 113 level, I don't think caddy is really gonna collapse much more. But Euro takes out the 113. Remember, I think it's going to be a waterfall, and that waterfall is going to take all the crosses down, and this one particularly, I think, is vulnerable to the downside. Now, the pound trades, and they're really very similar. The pound kiwi is a little bit more pronounced. Is basically the bet that support holds, and it's really a bet on the fact that the cable bounces, right? That's really what I'm talking about. So that's why I have the 78.50 support here in the pound Aussie, where you're kind of buying right into the support, looking for the bounce back up, and in the pound Kiwi, which looks like just a complete downtrend, right? I mean, it's just as straight a trend as you can get. But my argument here is you're selling right into the bottom if you try to chase this trend to the downside. I think this is a bear trap, especially if we can find any kind of positive news on cable, because what's going to happen in this particular cross is if we're going to get a huge pop in cable back up to the 32s, and Kiwi very likely is just going to remain stationary. In that type of environment, you have a massive move to the upside and a candle that could print all the way up to 195. So no doubt, highly speculative, very much of a gamble type of a trade, but with reasonable risk here because we are at seriously strong support here. So the technicals should provide at least a modicum of help to us in this particular fade trade. That's what I see in the commodity dollar land, or in the crosses this week as we approach the opening week. Wish you guys the best luck, the best trading. Boris, over now.